everybody, come on, put your hands together. Let's have some church. I feel a shout coming on. I feel a dance, oh Lord, coming on. When I think it was good, I feel a shout coming on. Oh yeah, I feel a shout coming on. Y'all know what? I was just thinking how good God has been to me, yeah. When I was sinking in my sin, He rescued me. All of my life, woo, the Lord has been right there, yeah. And all of my burden, Lord, He helped me to bear. That's why I feel a shout. Oh, yes, I do. Coming on, yeah. I feel a shout coming on. Let me say this. I love the Lord down in my soul. Yes, I do. And my love for Him is burning out of control. Yes, it is. Right now I feel like I could fly. If I had the wings to do it, you know I'd give it a try. I feel a shout coming on.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is another empowering mentoring session. It is 2020. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Wow. Cannot believe that 2019 is over and we're now in actually 2 weeks into 2020. And so we're happy that you joined us this morning. And every time we get on this air here in the KROV studio, I have with me none other than Double G himself, Mr. Gilbert Garnado. Say hello to everybody.
Good morning, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, yes. So we're happy that you're here joining us here, listening in, and those who are following us Facebook Live right now. We just want to tell you thank you for sticking with us every second Sunday at 9 a.m. It's been a journey so far, and we're ready to take you to deeper depths and higher heights coming into 2020. And so, Double G, let's talk a little bit. Last time we were on there, we got to talking about, are you perfect, right? You are perfect. And so let's recap real quick, since everybody has probably forgot a little bit. You know, they didn't have turkey and
Santa Claus
and everything, you know, and then the New Year partying like it's 1999, but it's no longer 1999. So kind of recap just real quickly so we can just, you know, move on into finishing that up today.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, first of all, it is January the 12th, 2020.
Wow.
And you are perfect, and you're still perfect. And God made you perfect. And that's a beautiful, beautiful statement right there for all of us to understand. And we're going to talk about leadership, but we're also in a biblical type will come out, and how that comes through, and how we continue to have dialogue about that. But this is the first day of the rest of your life. Today matters.
It does.
This is the first day of the rest of your life, and today matters. And you are perfect as we talk about that. Half of it we talked last time in December. And so we all were born perfect. We all were born, as far as when we came into this life, we all were born free with any self-limiting beliefs. We were kids.
Mm-hmm.
We were kids. We were ready to learn. We were ready to take a step, fall down, get back up. And then what happens is we get older and we start thinking, no, we can't do it. We start having that intruder, the devil, in our mind that says, you can't do it.
Wow.
And so as we look at it as a child's perception, life is amazing. And you see a child, my grandkids, boy, they can work a room. And they can work a room until somebody wants to go play with them or go do something with them. And they won't stop until they get what they want. Or somebody tells them, no, you can't do it.
Wow. Wow.
No, you can't do it. And so as I speak through that is more of just understanding is we are perfect. And what happens is we come into that world, obviously, as an explorer, right? A kid. Wow. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Yeah. And we come naturally in this world as an explorer. We're born to take risk. Mm-hmm. We're born to get on a bike and fall down, get scratched, and then for whatever reason, we get back on.
Wow.
We get back on. And the goal, we're goal-seeking pros.
Yeah.
We're goal-seeking pros. We're natural to want to love somebody. We're naturally to be curious, incredible. We have a credible imagination that God gave us. Incredible imagination. Highly intuitive, perceptive, to be continual learners, to want to be continue. But what happens is we get out of our natural state of being green and growing.
Wow.
We get out of our natural state, and then all of a sudden as we start seeing as, no, you know, that intruder gets on our mind, says you can't do it. So that's self-limiting beliefs.
Wow. Wow.
And so anyway, that's what we chatted a little bit about last time, and we'll continue to have more conversation as we go on. But I wanted to read a little message here, is how we get sometimes stuck.
Okay.
How we get stuck. So Romans 13:11 to 14. But make sure that you don't get so absorbed and exhausted in taking care of all your day-to-day obligations that you lose track of time and doze off, oblivious to who? God. The night is about over. Dawn is about to break. But be awake to what God is doing. God is putting the finishing touches on the salvation work He began when we first believed. We can't afford to waste a minute, must not squander these precious daylight hours in frivolity and indulgence, in sleeping around and dissipation, in bickering and grabbing everything in sight. Get out of bed, get dressed, don't loiter and linger, waiting till the very last moment. Dress yourselves in Christ and be up and about. And 2020 is now, January 12th. 2020 is now. And what's amazing is today matters. This is the first day of the rest of your life. So just was in my heart, and more just wanted to chat about that is you know, we're perfect, and we got to believe that.
Wow. So you said a lot of nuggets, man, in that time, and I was just sitting here thinking. I wanted to stop you, but I was like, no, I'm not going to stop you. So I'm gonna go reverse real quick. So you're talking about just the mind of a child and how we were created and birthed into this earth, and how, you know, we are natural explorers. Like how we learn is based off exploring in the beginning, right? We figure out things by, you know, and I have a son that's that way. I mean, he's very inquisitive. I mean, he wants to figure out.
I bet.
You know, analytical, wants to figure out everything. Yeah. What makes this do this? What makes this do that? How to, you know, and it's a cool place to be in.
Yes.
Because
yes.
You don't have the barriers of fear. Sometimes you don't have the barriers of failure. You don't have the barriers of am I smart enough? Do I have enough money?
Yes.
You know,
most definitely.
All those different things, right? Like you said, as a child,
Yeah.
I mean, my son thinks I'm a millionaire plus some.
Exactly.
The way the things he come to me about, you know, right? And so, if we could just take on some of those,
yes,
you know, those characteristics and how we handle some of our daily life decisions, daily life, you know, experiences. I mean, wow. I mean, when you started to say that, I started thinking, I said, man, how many times have I played it safe?
Man, you're reading right into what I was going at. You know, our nature is to be a risk taker, right?
Right.
But our programming says better what? Better safe than sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You know, and so sometimes we sit back and we have, on my way in, I was thinking a little bit and I was like, okay, as I think throughout this year, you know, what are some of the things that I've done, you know, in the past? And I said, you know, do I have a mindset of, and I'm just going to go down a list of things, and I said, this is my personal life, but I said, you know, do I make millionaire decisions? If that's my desire to be a millionaire, do I make millionaire decisions? Do my behavior is a behavior of one that's trying to gain, you know, that financial, you know, status? Do I, you know, is my routine, you know, set up that way? Is my circle set up that way? You know, if I want to be debt free, do I go out every day and spend money? You know, if I want better results in my relationship, what am I doing in that to get better results? So what are we giving? What are we doing to meet the expectation, you know, of our life? And so you said something about, you know, this title, you know, you are perfect. That we were created perfect. When God created us in Genesis, He said, "What? It is good." Right? It was good. It was choices brought imperfection.
Most definitely.
But we were created perfect, and that has not changed, right? And so the one thing that we have to do, you're in Romans a little bit, and I was thinking about Romans too, a little bit, Romans 12:2. It talks about, you know, just renewing, you know, our mind, you know, keep our mind set on things of God, His perfect will, His perfect plan, and you know. And so let's think about that or talk through that a little bit. We have to continuously remind ourselves daily that we are perfect, that we can do this, that, you know, the goals and the plan that God has for our life and the goals that we have for ourselves and the decisions and the purpose over our life can be, you know, right in line. But we have to go back to some things. We have to, you know, renew and go back to our change of thinking and not say, hey, 2019 was horrible, so I can't go back on the plate because I struck out. Just think of a baseball player, you know, or another athlete, you know, a basketball player. They shoot a free throw and they miss it. Does that mean they stop shooting free throws?
No.
If a baseball player goes to the mound and he strikes out, does that mean he don't go back up to the, you know, to the plate, the mound, the plate?
No.
You know, the football player, he missed that catch in the end zone. You know, does he stop putting up his hands to catch the ball? No.
You got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. And that's so powerful right there, because as we look at it is we're naturally to be explorers. We're naturally to be risk takers. We're naturally to be curious. But what happens is our programming shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Our programming shifts, and all of a sudden as we start believing and just being funny is, but we start believing the things of just, you can't do it. You know, maybe too much about stuff that are just not true. And so we reflect on 2019, great right there. And I would ask that in professionally and personally, in wanting to grow, in becoming that millionaire mindset, that millionaire, if it won't be, but it doesn't have to be so much about materialistic money. I'm not meaning that, but it's more of just, do you understand what your daily habits were in 2019? Do you really know? And so you won't know unless you have a report card. You won't know unless you have analytics. You won't know unless you have a calendar letting you know what you did. Because other than that, it's in your mind. It's just assumptions. And all of a sudden, as you start becoming more of just, oh, I was busy. But really?
Wow.
What was on your calendar? So if your goals were high and your calendar and actions were low, it's not going to happen. And John Maxwell says a great thing. John Maxwell says everybody has uphill dreams, but most people have downhill habits.
Wow.
And so just trying to look at it regardless is if you had a great year in 2019, you had a really good year in 2019, but possibly you're wanting to sustain that. You're wanting to continue in that trajectory of continually going. Is being sustainable is the next level of, am I built for a marathon?
Wow. So we're going to take a break real quick, pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. We're going to finish this up in the second half, and we'll be right back to you. Again, call us here live in the studio if you want to chat with us at 210-785-9227. Again, that's 210-785-9227. We'll be right back. Do I have the right one?
The number one downloaded radio station in the world.
It don't say it up here.
On the TuneIn
Like this,
radio
like
app.
look at the.
From your smartphone, listen to KROV
Yeah.
in your car.
I was like,
working
I was-
out,
I was-
or
I
on
just
the
saw
station.
that.
Visit KROVFM.com for more details.
Good.
Hi y'all, it's DJ Miss Eclectic, and you're tuned in to RHEMA Gospel Express, where they're presenting men and women of God with the word and music of praise, believing and receiving and letting God be glorified. Don't touch that dial.
Hey, we're back. We're back. We're back. Yeah. So let's pick this up as we go through the second half of this. And one thing that I, have here that we're going to discuss was to be continued learners, right? What does it mean to continue to learn? Is it possible to stop yourself from? I'm wondering. Does somebody make up in their mind and say, you know what, I'm done learning?
Yes.
Wow.
If you're ripe and rotting.
Wow.
Sometimes when you're old and you start thinking, I'm a creature of old habit. I've been doing it this way all these years. I don't want to learn anything more. And then obviously that shuts down sometimes as we get older. But that's just part of life. And sometimes we check out. It is hopefully we check back in, we start leaning in.
Wow.
We lean in, and then we're back in the game. And like I love what you said earlier about just swing the bat. You got to swing the bat.
So you mentioned that, right? And I want to talk about this just a little bit, because you don't necessarily have to be old in age to check out. I mean, there's people who have gone through certain failures, either relationships or career or school or financial, and it's been maybe a few years of that or several relationships, and they check out. They say, you know what, this is what it's going to be. So they've put themselves out the game.
Yes.
Basically what you're saying.
Right.
And so at that point then, and there's a little slogan here, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, I think that has, again, to do with a mindset, has to do with a person, how much do you really want your situation to be different, right? One of the things, leaving an old year and going into a new, everyone always, you would hope people start to reflect, right? And I know I do, and it's in my household, it's in my finances, it's in my spiritual growth, it's in my health, all these places. And so one of the things that I've been doing recently is, one of my sons is, in his off season of football, so we've been on the, in training mode, getting ready for the next season, right? And in that becomes a lot of physical exercise, a lot of work, a lot of changing my routine a little bit on the weekends. It requires something of me to give up something, to take on something else. But thinking about that, and I see this young guy out there, and he's ripped right now, and I mean muscles everywhere, not a piece of fat on him, and he's going at the drill, after drill, after drill, after drill, and it can be so tiring, of watching that. And I say to myself, man, I remember the day when I could just get up and keep. And I asked myself the question, well, what happened?
Yeah. Right.
You know, what happened was I took myself out the game.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
We all do sometimes. Yeah.
And so
Perfect.
I said, okay, I now have to get myself back in the game of my physical exercise, right? To the point, and it's hard in the beginning getting back in the game. It's not just, I can't go out there and keep up with him and do all the stuff he's doing, because I think that's what happens. We see something and we go at it at that level. And we say, okay, I want that. Let me just go at that level. Let me go there. And when we find out, when we get that, after we do it that day, and we get that physical fatigue, if it's something physical, and our body is so sore and it hurts, and we tell ourselves, why did I do that? Right? And then we take ourselves right back out of the game because of what it felt like. But we came back into the game at a level, not at the level that we left the game,
Right.
not at the level that we, probably should be. So we come in way too high, and then it causes ourselves to give back up. Talk about that a little bit.
So that is powerful right there. And I try to keep that analogy of we want to have a strong mind, strong body, right? Everything starts with our mind, strong mind,
Right.
and strong body. And so when you break it down, is your mind built strong? And so many a times it's not, because that's where how we filter our decision making based on really is what is our purpose, what is our vision, what are our goals. And so it's the becoming part, so we can be able to push through whenever we get sore, whenever we're uncomfortable, whenever somebody challenges you. We have to have that strong mind. And I would ask, is everybody on and listening to us, is strong mind, strong body is critical. It's important. So the evening of your life is determined by your morning. It is so important.
Wow.
The evening of your life is determined by your morning. So what do you do to prepare in the morning to have a great day?
Wow.
And that's powerful. Do you wait till the afternoon to have a good evening?
Wow.
You wasted some time.
Yeah.
You wasted some time. And if you truly are trying to go somewhere, it requires a leadership shift within your thinking. A leadership shift within your thinking. And the beauty is you can get out of that mindset, is understanding how to align your calendar and your actions with your goals. And so as we flush through that, is remember, you're perfect. You are perfect.
Yeah.
We were all born natural explorers. We were all born to be risk takers, to be curious, just like that kid. But unfortunately, as we get older, or we feel we've already hit our plateau of where we want to go, but you really haven't. You've just put a barometer and said, no, you can't go anymore. You can. And if you look at it in a different mindset of serving and adding value to people, come on, we got to keep growing so we can serve and add value to people, because people want more of you. We're born perfect. God made us perfect to serve and add value. And if we're holding back and not growing, it's going to be pretty hard to multiply your efforts. You're going to play with addition. And we don't want to play with addition. We want to play with multiplication.
Wow.
And multiplication allows our kids, our family, yes, we're going to be challenged. Yes, we're going to be challenged by continuing to grow and put some nutrients and proteins and fertilizer. But God has us, we were made perfect. It's just that our self-limiting beliefs continue to just play into it and tell us that you can't do it. And so that's one of those things that us as human beings is we become creature of habit. And I would challenge each one of you, including myself, is kick that intruder out. And don't give it the keys anymore. You're not coming in my mind. You're gone. You're out of here.
Wow. So basically, let's recap real quick then. So, because you said some stuff, and and that I would love to kind of finish off with is how we start our day, huh? So you said, I mean, and I've asked myself too. I said, how is my day being started every day? Am I putting myself in the dramas of social media, or am I, do I, get out the bed, rush into the shower, get dressed, rush out the door? Am I giving myself some time to spend with God? Am I spending some time maybe reading a book, or am I starting my day, working out? Am I starting my day, and some thought process, getting some, some positive thoughts in my head? Am I, creating my calendar to have my day more structured? Or am I just going to take my day as it comes? All these different things that, that will. And so just think of that as a day. Some of us do that with our life.
Yeah.
We take our life just as it comes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I did this year is I downloaded some apps. I'm going to use technology today, and so I got a couple apps now that I'm using. The one that creates a calendar so I can manage, a calendar in my household, and it allows me to put down some goals and even some chores and even, grocery lists, all these different things. I'm trying to bring structure and organization in my life in some areas. And I said, well, how can I expect certain results if I don't put in, certain things? I can't go up to a vending machine and just press the button and expect a soda to come out if I didn't put any money into it, right? So we can't have expectations of something that we're not willing to put into, is what I was basically trying to say in a nutshell. And so as you're thinking about 2020, and this is still the first month, you won't see us till February, but this is still the first month. What is it that you need to get in order in your mind first? Because it starts in the mind. The battle is always in the mind first, right?
Yes, sir.
You can be your worst everything, because you fight yourself in your mind about a lot of things, right? And so it's in your mind. Let's think through that as you're reflecting on what your purpose and if you have not done this so far in 2020. Let's think about, training your mind for the race. A marathon runner trains their mind to run those miles first before they train their bodies, right?
Yep.
And so get your mind ready for this marathon called this year, 2020. Get your mindset ready and fight off, like you said, that demon, that beast, that monkey on your back, whatever you want to call it, right? And get yourself ready for the game.
Woo! Hey, we're going to have some breakthroughs. We're going to have some things that occur because of your shift in your mindset. 2020 is going to be great. Speak into it. Speak into it. Be bold. Be courageous. Have a word. Maybe even have a word in 2020 that gets you kick-started. Maybe a good word for you would be action. Maybe a good word would be deeper faith, health. Maybe is family. Think about a word that gets you going for you to have a leadership shift, a mindset shift to get you going for 2020 to be amazing.
Yeah. That is awesome. So, hey, guys, we love coming on, chatting with you every second Sunday at 9 a.m. Unfortunately, that time goes by so fast. I mean, we have so many different nuggets, so much to share with you, but then, the thing called time gets the best of us. But that's why we're going to be giving you more content throughout the year through social media platforms. So when we're not on live, that you can still connect with us and ask us questions and challenge us to challenge you. But it's that time. And so we just want to tell you, keep pressing forward. Don't give up. Stay in the game. God has some great things in store for you for this new year. and have great expectation of those things. Hey, don't give up. What